Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where we get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. You guys have been asking for weeks since the premiere of Selling Tampa, the new spinoff from the success of Selling Sunset, from the same creators and producers of Selling Sunset. We finally get what we've been asking for. We of course just covered OWN's new hit show. I'm going to call it a hit show, just put it out there. Ladies Who List Atlanta. We asked for it in Atlanta, and now we're getting it in Tampa. When I saw the promo for Selling Sunset into Selling Tampa, I said, y'all better work with this promo. And I was excited. And a lot of you have been comparing Selling Tampa to the new show, Ladies Who List. Here's the thing. Selling Tampa is already all out there. All 8 episodes are out there. I've watched them twice. I've taken some notes. We're going to recap it. I am going to drop the call-in link in just a second after I get some of my thoughts out. I've broken it all down episode by episode. I said this is going to be the ultimate recap of Selling Tampa. But before we do that, don't forget to share this on your Twitter. Share this with your family members. Text it. Guys, tap your screens on TikTok. Share this live. Sharing is caring. Let's get into this recap. We are in Tampa, and I might have to get a place in Tampa, y'all. Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Shout out to my girl Layla Lynn in the chat. Layla, see, I never know what Layla's watching. Layla, I truly enjoyed the show. Layla, I don't know if you checked out Ladies Who List Atlanta. Check that out as well. I just love looking at property. And the one big criticism of Selling Tampa that I will have is that I didn't get to see enough properties. Yes, we saw properties, quite a few properties. And if you are from New York or from a big city, oh my goodness, what you get for $2.2 million in Tampa, you could barely, 1.1 million. There was one place that they showed that was 1.1 million. You could barely get a 1-bedroom here in New York for that price. Adrian's in the building. Adrian, we got things to talk about. Oh my, I can't, I've looked at property here in New York. You can't get the type of property like that here in New York for that amount of money. I know it's Florida, but damn. So part of me is like, should I even buy in New York? I could get a whole mansion in Tampa. But then I think about hurricanes. I mean, that hasn't stopped people from buying and building in Tampa. Tampa's beautiful. And it might be the best alternative in regards to Miami. But then again, if you want the nightlife, I have a couple friends that live in Tampa and they tell me it's boring. Look, if you're from Tampa, though, you might say, Kempire, no, it's not. It's something else. Guys, you have been asking for it. As I always say, you are the curators of pop culture here on the channel. So I have to listen when I hear an overwhelming response to a show. I say, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let me watch it. Damn it. I can't even watch television anymore for fun. Even though watching this was fun, I rewatched it, but I also have to pay attention. I have to pay attention to all the little things that are going on. So we get to see this, and I tagged some of the ladies in the recap. And then I think to myself, damn it, I need to stop tagging them because I talk shady. But I don't care. I don't care who's watching and who's listening. I still talk shady. It doesn't come from a malicious place, but I gotta be real. And if you've been following me on my Twitter, you need to, because I've been here and there. I try not to share too much, especially if I haven't recapped a show yet on Twitter. But if you've been following me, I posted a couple of tweets about my thoughts when I first started watching. And I'm just going to say this. And this is first of all, I'm going to start with something nice. Shirelle, thank you for your service to our country. We'll start there. Thank you and I mean that genuinely. But once I met Rena, I said, wait, who owns what? It's, Alora's Shirelle's? Oh. There was nothing that I saw from Shirelle this season. I'm sorry, Shirelle. Shout out to you though. You still have your brokerage. We learned from ladies who list. That's another level of education and another license. But once I met Rena, I said, Rena doesn't own this. Rena's not in a position of power at your real estate firm. But you have HR. Joanna, I love you though. Because I feel like Joanna gets a bad rap. She gets a bad rap. But in all fairness, and I understand Rena and Shirelle had a friendship beforehand. You don't want to show favoritism, but she shows favoritism already. She shows favoritism towards Joanna. She shows favoritism towards Carla. I like Carla too. I think we have not yet seen Carla's potential for reality TV. I don't know if she can sell a place though, but I think she's great for reality TV. But you know who's my favorite? Can you guys guess who my favorite? I'm gonna give you guys a moment in the live chat and in my TikTok chat. Who do you think is my favorite outside of Rena? Rena, I think, is professional. I think she is fantastic. I think she's smart. I think she's beautiful. I look forward to season 2 where it's her real estate firm versus Allure. Who do you think is my favorite? Who do you think is my favorite? Did someone say Anne? Did someone say Colony? No offense to them. Colony? Why do you guys think I love... Colony's beautiful, though. But she's a little bit a you know what? Danielle is a troublemaker. Danielle, you are a troublemaker. I don't believe that you are Team Alexis because only person that should be Team Alexis at this point is her husband. That's not even her husband, her fiance. You guys have been together since high school? You guys have been together since high school and he is just your fiance? Yes, Boca got it right. Tennille. Tennille, fancy lifestyle, got it right. Tennille. I said outside of Rena. Rena is definitely she is the most professional. I feel like she's going to be so successful. And if Shirelle was smart, she would have did anything in her power to keep Rena with her. Even though Rena is not the top producer at Allure. She's not. Colony and Anne are. And technically, Anne is the top producer. I love Tennille, though. I don't care what y'all say about Tennille. She is also reality TV gold. She probably can't sell a home either. She sold that home better than Alexis. She sold that home better than Alexis. I did not expect that Alexis part. Guys, if you have not watched Selling Tampa yet, we're doing the entire season right now. I already skipped around, but I broke it down. Episode 1, closing deals and heels. Okay. So Colony and Anne, since you guys brought them up, young but successful women. Young but successful women. They're actually the youngest ladies there. They're probably the only ones that have kids, that don't have kids. And They're cute, but they're also young, and they were a little ageist. Because if you follow me on Twitter, I said, are we in real life having a competition between older women and younger women? Is there really an auntie versus nieces going on right now? Is that a real thing, women in my chat? Is that a real thing? Someone in my TikTok chat said she's ghetto fabulous. She might be ghetto fabulous, but I love Tennille. Tennille, she was giving looks. She was twerking. She was cracking me up. But she knows her business. She knew a lot more than Alexis. We'll get to Alexis in a second. That happens a little bit later on. So we're introduced to these ladies in episode 1 of Selling Tampa. And I'm impressed by Rena because we learned that Rena, she was a partner in her law firm. Yep, we learned that. I think the next episode, we learned in episode 2 that Rena got her broker's license. Mind you, we just learned when we were watching Ladies Who List on OWN Atlanta, we learned, the difference between an agent and a broker. Some of you may have knew that already. Okay, all right, smarty pants. We learned that. And so we learned, and I was like, so Rena has her broker's license, but she's working under Allure right now. She doesn't tell Shirelle. Shirelle ends up finding out from someone else. We don't know who she found out from. Who do you guys? The first thing that comes to mind, I think Joanna found out and she told Shirelle. Joanna is HR. She knows everything. Is Joanna an agent? That's the one thing I wasn't sure about. Is Joanna an agent or is she just the office manager? The ladies don't love her because of her close relationship with Shirelle. And Shirelle she's very biased. She's very biased. I see her doing situations that are very obvious that she's biased. Like the whole Carla situation, the way she treats Joanna, giving Joanna this position of power. Plaisir says Joanna's position is odd. Light Mission, thank you so much for the super chat. I like Colony, but she snitched on Anne. I don't even believe that her friendship with Anne is genuine. It's very like flaky. I don't really love the relationship between the two. I feel like it's just very flaky. I don't love to hear them go back and forth. I'm like, oh my God. Y'all know how I am when it comes to the whininess and the voice. Especially when you're selling properties and things like that. I think that's part of the reason why I lean towards someone like Rena, because she just speaks with professionalism. You could tell there's depth to her knowledge. And someone like that, you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose someone like Rena. So the minute she tells you that, I have my broker's license, and you see that she's unhappy, and all of you real estate agents are going to have to call in and let me know your thoughts on the new commission split. We find that out in episode 2. There's a new commission split. It went from 95-5 to 80-20. So Joanna, as HR, did the math. She says, before the commission change, and this is like the second time in a short period of time that they've had another commission change. So she says, if you were to sell a property at $1 million, what you would normally get would be $28,500. Now with the new commission split, you're going to get $24,000. That is a $4,500 difference. Look at me do math. Georgia says Colony's friends with Colony. Yeah, she has no loyalty to anyone. Even the only person she probably has loyalty is who was that man that she was flirting with? I can't think of his Cho? I can't remember. You guys will remind me in the chat. So the commission split changes, but Rena is the only one brave enough to go up against Shirelle and say, why the commission split? Why another commission split change? And she's like, this is my livelihood. And Shirelle's explanation of it, I felt like it was insufficient. Thank you, Cho. Thank you. Oh, look at me in the elephant brain. He was such a minimal character. I mean, those abs weren't minimal, but thank you guys. Everyone's like, Cho money, chow. A mess. You guys are a mess. Let me take a sip. If you guys are just joining us, we're talking about the new Netflix show, Selling Tampa. It's a spinoff of Selling Sunset. You know, we haven't recapped Selling Sunset. I've been getting into Selling Sunset slowly but surely, but I can't with the ditziness. There's a lot of ditziness, especially in Selling Sunset. A lot of ditziness. So watching Selling Tampa, we get a little ditziness. We do get a little ditziness, especially from Colony. I like that name, though. Colony? I've never seen a name like that. Her and Anne and their interaction, I'm like, I could do without them, to be honest with you. Can we be real? I don't feel like they were the stars of the show. I don't feel like they were the stars of the show. However, they are the top producers at Allure. I want to know how much is Shirelle selling? How much is she selling? She came across very much like, I'm going to associate Real Housewives now, like Mia, where you give off boss vibes, but are you really a boss? Like, are you really producing? She makes it seem like she's the one who's taught Anne and Colony to sell the way that they have been selling. Maybe she is. Maybe she is. As Leo says, I love Anne. I was okay with them. I don't feel like they were quite entertaining, to be honest with you. I was just like, eh. Anyways, we're talking about the commission splits in episode 2. But Rena brings it up and she's like, okay, so we're paying 15% more than before. And when Shirelle's questioned about it, she's like, don't question me. Don't question me. Really? I mean, look, I've never worked in the real estate world. I don't like the hustle and bustle of real estate. I don't like that insecurity of money. And look at me now. Not there's insecurity of money, but you got to hustle. So maybe now I can do real estate. No, I don't want to. I want to buy real estate. I don't want to hustle to encourage someone to buy something. It's hard and people get finicky. People aren't just spending millions of dollars like that. I know it seems like that, but no, people are finicky with their money. Why have I seen Shirelle before? Where has she been in something else? She just looks so familiar to me. All right, some of y'all like Shirelle. All right, Sanazo. Shirelle isn't the girl she thinks she is at all. Rena is. Amen. I like Shirelle for reality TV. Congratulations. I know she just gave birth. Yes. I was trying to think of who she reminded me of. Colony is giving Tony Childs from Girlfriends. She's gorgeous as much as Tony too. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous too. All of them are beautiful. There's not an ugly woman in sight on this show. There's not an ugly woman in sight. Rena is my favorite though. And if you look at Rena's history, and I think that's why Shirelle tries to hold power over Rena, because she knows Rena is no dummy. She knows that Rena has been more successful in life than she is. Remember, Rena was a partner at a law firm. She was the only Black partner at her law firm. So I already know what she had to deal with. I used to work for a law firm. Rena just comes across very professional. I'm actually surprised that Rena's not the top producer at Allure, but she's also not at the bottom. We know Alexis and Carla is at the bottom. Oh, Alexis and Carla. For those that aren't familiar with the cast, here's the cast again of Selling Tampa. It's on Netflix. If you're watching the replay of this, I want to know your favorite ladies from the show, favorite moments from the show. Are you rooting for a season 2? Based off of Rena looking like she's going to start her own brokerage, yes, I need a season 2. And I need the competing brokerages, please. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, especially now that we find out at the end of the season that Shirelle is pregnant and she's probably going to be spending more time in Miami and setting up office in Miami because that's where Ocho Cinco is. Who knew Ocho Cinco was still out here in these streets having babies? I didn't realize he had 7 kids. Damn. He also has a type. Georgia says, oh, wait, I'm thinking, Jordan, you got a new name? Rena and Colony are my girls. I don't know if I love Colony like that. I can appreciate the fact that Colony is loyal, but I think she's also stupidly loyal. Especially in real estate. That's like a dog eat dog world. And I encourage all the real estate agents that follow the page, that follow us here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, to call in. I'm going to post a call in link. We have almost 300 people watching. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. Let's get to 150 likes. I'm going to drop the call in link. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear from real estate agents because I'm like, is this commission split justifiable based off of what Shirelle said? Is that normal for it to change the way that Shirelle has been changing it? And which one would you work for, Rena or Shirelle? Shirelle just gives off to me, I'm just shocked that she is selling $1 million homes. Can we talk? Because she doesn't give off that professional vibe. She was talking and encouraging Joanna to tell Colony and Anne. Look, guys, I'm just learning the names. She was telling Colony and Anne, telling Joanna to tell them about a cocktail dress code. And she wore pom-pom shorts to meet with a developer. Like, talk about, I know it's Tampa, but damn, girl, you're meeting with a developer. Let's move on to episode 3. Dollar short and day late. Okay. So this is Tennille and Alexis. They take a tour of this. First of all, the Playmate. First of all, I didn't realize Playboy Playmates were making money like that. But you know what? This Playboy Playmate was smart. She decided to invent some things and put them on the Home Shopping Network and made millions. And she has a beautiful home. Very unique. Very unique. But, you know, it's got good bones. It's got good bones. But Tennille believes that Shirelle has partnered her up with Alexis to sort of be a mentor to Alexis because Alexis has not been selling. And Alexis comes up with a lot of excuses. Alexis has a lot of excuses about why she's not producing. I'm still trying to understand why Alexis is not producing. I think this is just not for Alexis. Beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. Woman, sorry. Yeah, Libra says large but dated. Yeah, you know what? There are a lot of, because I always look at real estate, there are a lot of big, beautiful homes on the outside that look really beautiful. If you go inside, because people have not updated them over the years, and updating is expensive, but they haven't updated. The furniture might be old. They haven't updated their kitchen in a very long time or the bathrooms. So they do look dated. But it's got good bones. And I feel like every house that they showed overlooked a river or an ocean. Well, not an ocean. You know what I mean. Oh, Fancy Lifestyle says, I love Shirelle's kids. The kid is so sweet. I love her son. I mean, both kids are cute. Don't get me wrong. But her son just made me laugh. He was just so naturally funny. I was like, I didn't expect that. And I felt bad for Shirelle, when her mom's house burned down and, she's really trying to be there for her mom. I was like, oh, that's rough. That's rough. Can you imagine having a fire and losing everything? All of your memories just gone. But Tennille and Alexis. So Tennille and Alexis are out by the water, by the dock, after they, we're looking through the home that they're trying to sell. And Tennille doesn't hold back, which makes her great for television. She does not hold back. She's like, you got some buyers? Alexis is like, yeah, I got buyers. Where, Alexis? No one's bought anything from you. No one has bought a thing from you. Danielle says she's Team Alexis. Why are you Team Alexis? She hasn't sold anything. She wasn't even entertaining on the show. I want to skip ahead. Can I skip ahead? Hold on. No, okay, let me go to episode. I have notes, y'all. All right, so in episode 3, Shirelle does confront Rena about having the broker's license and not telling her. Okay, we already have that. Rena tells Colony and Anne about her broker's license and offers them a possible position. They're the top producers. The only one that seems to bite, though, is Anne. Colony is like, I'm loyal. You're going to be loyal and broke. I mean, not broke, but you know what I'm saying. You're loyal to what? Because later in the episodes, you see that Shirelle's not loyal to you. Why did she give more responsibility to Joanna and not you? Here's the reason. Because Joanna comes across professional. Not to say that Colleen is not professional, but Joanna comes across professional and mature. Shout out to Joanna. Why does Joanna look familiar to me too? She's beautiful. We find out Joanna's getting a divorce. She's been separated from her husband. She's also a grandmother. Can you imagine? This is what we got as grandmothers nowadays. Beautiful, gorgeous. And some of them really came through for her divorce party, that Beyonce-inspired divorce party. Some of them really came through. Shirelle came through. Even Rena. I was surprised that Rena came coming through with a good costume. I thought that was a really great idea. You know, a lot of ladies now are going to do a Beyonce-inspired divorce party. That date that when they go to Miami and the date that Joanna goes on, that Jamaican man, he was Jamaican. He was straight up Jamaican, but he was funny. But I can see why she would not date him. He could be her friend, but he was funny. He cracked me up. I couldn't date him, but he cracked me up. He cracked me up. He was good for television. That was a good moment. Tina said that to date was a train wreck. It was a train wreck, but it was hilarious for us. And even for Joanna. Joanna was laughing. All right, I skipped way ahead. I'm already in Miami. So hold on, let me take a sip, y'all. I've been talking all day. Guys, if you missed any of the videos that we've done already today, we already did a live recap of some of your favorite reality shows on TLC. I also posted a couple of new stories, one about Mary Cosby and Andy Cohen talking about how he kind of knew that she more than likely wasn't going to show up and that she might have been ungrateful for what he's given her. Be sure to check out that video as well. I also posted another video. What else was the other video I posted earlier today, y'all? I've been so busy. Let me see what I posted. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tristan Thompson. He may have to pay up to $40,000 in child support. Anyone surprised by that? That's why he was trying to get that whole thing in Texas. Oh, Tristan. Thank you to my mods. Guys, don't forget, get your coldest water bottle today. It comes in multiple colors, multiple sizes, and they don't just have water bottles on their website. They have things that keep your coffee hot. Get a coldest water bottle today. Discount code is KEMP10 for 10% off. Again, KEMP10. For more information, check out the description of the video. And you can also get it engraved, get it personalized, get multiple bottles for you, your loved one, your boo-ski with their name on it. Again, the discount code is KEMP10. You know we talk about our coldest water bottle because we love them. Shout out to the sponsors that are coming to the channel. 2022 is going to be great. I just want to just push that out there to everyone. Say it with me. 2022 is going to be great for all of us. It is. Today is a powerful manifestation day, y'all. Today is January the 11th, 2022. That's a lot of ones and a lot of twos. Just saying. All right. All right. I'm going to drop the call link in just a second. Let's get to 200 likes. Let's get to 200 likes. Come on now. Let's move on. So episode 4, When Agents Collide. So Tennille, we met one of Tennille's clients in the previous episode. Tennille then entrusts Alexis to take this client to a property, and it is a mess. Comedy for us, but it was a mess. First of all, he's like, oh, what's the tree called? The Tree of Life? I wonder if that's what the tree was really called, because she lied about the taxes. She said that, oh, I think the tax is like $6,000. We wish. I don't know. Is my taxes $6,000? In Jersey, it's more. Come to find out later, the tax is like $90,000. She barely knew the specs. I'm not even a real estate agent. And at the very least, you should know how many bedrooms and bathrooms. Wait, rewinding back. Remember the scene with Alexis, Tennille, and the real estate agent, and she kept on repeating everything that Tennille said. I would have smacked her upside down. I'm like, shut up! You're making us both look bad. She kept on repeating and then almost finishing Tennille's sentences. I was like, what is wrong with you? I already knew it was going to be a train wreck when she did it. Well, no, I thought they did that on purpose to make us think that she was going to be a train wreck later. No, apparently Alexis is a train wreck. Oh my gosh, Belinda, you're right. I knew this day was a significant day. Happy birthday to Mary J. Blige. I love Mary J. Blige, fellow New Yorker, queen of hip hop soul, been through a lot. I hope she's manifesting something fantastic today for herself. Happy birthday to her. Yet it was so cringy. I was like, girl, shut up. I'm sitting here saying, shut up. What are you doing? Wait, Jamila says, a disgrace Alexis is. Well, you already know. If you watched all 8 episodes of Netflix's Selling Tampa, you know Alexis is later fired. I think it's the last episode she's fired. Yep, the last episode she's fired. All right, just in case you didn't know, spoiler alert. I mean, she should have been fired that day. Gosh. The ladies end up going to Miami for a trip for one of the clients. They're trying to find the property in Miami. This is probably going to be, wait a second. Are they going to try and do a Selling Miami next? Is that what they're trying to do? I don't know if I want to see that just yet. I'd much rather them focus on Tampa, even though Selling Miami would be fantastic. We already saw some Miami property, but if she's going to Miami because she has her child with Ocho Cinco, I guess I'd be open to it, but they would have to get a whole new cast of characters. Don't they have a show called Selling New York? I feel like I watched that before. It's selling something. I just realized that. That was a good one too. I think that's on Hulu. And some of you New York real estate agents may recall what that is. Hold on. Hold on. Happy Sanford says, FYI Kempire, is that $40K per child and he's soon to be without a team? I'll bet he'll propose to his sugar mama Chloe soon. I don't know how much he's paying in child support to True. From what we hear, Jordy is getting $40K a month, which means the new baby will probably end up getting somewhere around $34,000 a month. Guys, if you missed that story on Tristan Thompson and child support, be sure to check that out. That's a new story that we posted earlier today. Jen says, I like Selling Sunset. Look, I'm still in the middle of watching Selling Sunset, but then I put that to the side because you guys kept on saying, are you going to talk about Selling Tampa? And then someone, oh, see, there was, Danielle, it was called Selling New York, right? No, guys, I'm not even talking about $1 Million List in New York. I'm not even talking, this was before them, or maybe around the same time, but I feel like it was before them. I loved it. But anyways, I've digressed way too far. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about Selling Tampa on Netflix. If you're watching the replay, I always want to hear what you guys think. I understand not everyone can be here for the live chat. Live chat, though. I want to know if you had to rate Netflix's Selling Tampa from 1 to 10. 1 being that it was a trash and they should not bring it back. 10 being it was stellar. It was so much better than Selling Sunset. Let me know how you would vote in the live chat. Wait, and he says there's going to be a Selling the OC coming out sometime this year. Really? I mean, is the property in Orange County that good? Oh my gosh, with these ratings, 2? Yes, Danielle, I remember. I can literally watch this property again. Mind you, the property's probably been sold or knocked down by now. 10. Okay. Ooh, the ratings are mixed. Ooh, not 2. 6.5. I love the Black excellence, but 5. Damn. All right. And I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to call and explain to me. All right. Wait, a real estate agent is saying 8. Okay. Hey, Miss Brooklyn. Alex, damn, a 1? A 2? Wow. Was this a 20 or a 2? Oh, sorry, a 7. Okay. All right. 10, 10, 10. Wow. And this is why I had to do it, because I got I had so many people hit me up telling me to recap this show. And it was worth recapping, to be honest with you. First of all, I love looking at property. I love looking at property. We started recapping OWN's new show, Ladies Who List. That's every Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. We recap it. It airs on Fridays on OWN. All right. Damn. It was very mixed. Very mixed. All right. Let me just say thank you. Dazan, thank you so much for the super chat. Dazan says, Tennille, Colony, Rena, and Anne Sophia are my favorites. Joanna is my least favorite. Alexis had no idea what she was doing. Why is Joanna your least favorite? I mean, I get it why people didn't like Joanna amongst the ladies, because she sort of was like a boss, but they're like, you're not really the boss. I get why the ladies didn't love her, but as a character, I know she's not a character, yo, but for our reality TV purposes, she said she came off dry. They sold the house to the owner of, the Miami property, right? Y'all know I don't know anything about no hair care products. I was like, really? Shout out to the Black people doing big things in this world and becoming millionaires and billionaires. I hope to join your club soon. Very soon. Just saying. Alex says, Owen is giving us some good shows, to be honest. They are. I have to say, I'm all in with Ladies Who List Atlanta. Sidebar, y'all. I posted this on my community tab. The executive producer of Ladies Who List on OWN, she responded to my tweet. I just read, I had tweeted and said, we had a really great conversation. I was just putting in the Twitterverse. I didn't tag her, and I didn't even know who she was. Well, first of all, she's Jamaican and beautiful. She responded and said, who's hot in New York? So that says to me, she's open to doing Ladies Who List New York. Somehow I got to be on it. I don't know how. I just got to be on it. Can I just be a friend? You can show me a property. I don't know if I'm going to be really buying it. Who knows? By the time they get it up and running, I might be really buying something. But then again, I don't want to show my property on television. Oh, wait. We'll talk about this later. Right? Come on, Miss Brooklyn. Kempire wants a finder's fee. Come on now. She was like, who's hot in New York? I was like, well, I did respond to her, and I said, well, there's a few. Adrian says, you called that show into existence. I'm powerful. Especially today. Today's 1/11/22. Okay. All right. Let me drop the call link. I know you guys are itching to talk about this new show, Selling Tampa. So let me post the link. Guys, don't forget to like the video if you haven't liked it already. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Shout out to everyone that's becoming members of the channel. I appreciate you. Here we go. Shout out to our new members. Guys, if you'd like to become a member of the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, head on over to TeamKempire.com. Again, TeamKempire.com. And join our texting community at TextKempire.com. Let me see what my TikTok chat is saying. What's going on TikTok? Always lovely. I am not reading the comments here just because I'm everywhere else. But periodically, I look down. I leave the TikTok open so you guys can be a part of the conversation, and I can encourage you to head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We're also live on the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. Yes. All right. Let me take a sip. All right, we got a lot of people backstage. I know you guys have a lot of opinions. All right, let me start taking some callers, but I'm just going to do this. Hold on. Here are some of my other thoughts before I take callers. So later in the season, yes, we see them go to Miami. Things blow up in Miami between Tennille and Alexis because Tennille, calls her out. It gets a little heated about something else, and then Alexis chimes in, and she's like, "Well, between you and Carla, are the lowest producers. Y'all don't produce anything. And Alexis takes offense to that. Rightfully so, but you haven't produced anything, Alexis. Alexis has been fired in the last episode. And then, of course, they do a 30 AF party. They do a 30 AF party for Colony. And Alexis arrives really late. You think the producers would like Alexis show up? Because she came really late. They had been there looks like for hours. She finally shows up. She's feeling some type of way. And I do feel like Shirelle telling her, oh, once you're ready to get serious about this, you can come back. Why would you take someone back? She feels like she's serious about real estate right now. So if she comes back in a year from now, she's still going to probably not be producing. Unless she's coming back with actual clients. Like, well, I have actual clients. Natalie. Running title. Thank you for the super chat. Kempire presents Lady Who Lists New York. Right? Y'all better give me a producer's credit. Shoot. All right, let me get to some callers, guys. We're talking about Selling Tampa, not Ladies Who List, but we do that every Sunday here on the channel at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss out. And join our texting community. Let me put that up. So you're alerted when we are going live. TextKempire.com. TikTok, I appreciate you all being here. Be sure to tap your screens. We're talking about one of my new favorites on Netflix. One of my new favorites on Netflix. All right, Obi, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Obi?
Hey, Kemps.
How are you? Not Kemps.
Good. So my thoughts are, Rena is the real boss in that show. She definitely exudes what I would exude. And the answer is yes, to starting her own brokerage. And I'm actually kind of wondering, why is she under Shirelle? Like, who made Shirelle the boss? Somebody needs to explain that to me. Where is Miss Blackley and Adrian when you need answers like this? Okay,
they're here.
Yeah. The second thing is, why you all surprised to learn that Shirelle was 33? Because I could have sworn that lady was a beautiful lady, but she was at least pushing 46, at least. That's what I was thinking. Now, Shirelle, what we are not going to do is pay Colony back for her loyalty by promoting Joanna, decrease your agent's percentage at the same time failing to be transparent about the overhead increase, and ask the team to book an appointment when transparency is demanded. That's not what we're going to do. What we're not going to do also is to be condescending to Anne in front of Joanna when she is the only one who brought in an offer. And leave Rena out of a photo. Now, come on, Shirelle.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
You're a pretty woman, but you're not going to throw Anne under the bus. And then carry the title of snitch and ask it to Cheryl's ass when it's obvious that she doesn't even give a monkey's nuts about you. Am I the only one who thinks Shirelle only promoted Joanna because she can control her?
Oh.
And am I the only one who also thinks that Colony is closing big deals and bringing in the big bucks, so that's why she prefers to leave Colony in the field for her to be focused?
Damn.
Now, Joanna, what we are also not going to have on this show is a Shirelle Whitfield 2.0 who is still feeling as a bone collector. And how more ridiculous and fake do you want to appear on TV, flaunting your marriage in everybody's face while you're going through a divorce? Make it make sense. The math ain't nothing. Carla and Alexis, what we are not going to do is appear to have pretty privilege syndrome on this show, because it seems that, Alexis particularly, you are hired for your connections. And Alexis, you need to hire a personal hand slapper to keep you awake because you look lost the whole entire season. And the answer is no. To your husband requesting that you need to be at home more. I guess it's too late now because now I'm hearing you're fired from the show. Tanil, I don't know what Kempire is talking about, but what we are also not going to do is make us forget the purpose of your existence on this show. I'll need more from you. I'm going to give you a pass for now, but your disdain for Alexis is reeking, and that's definitely not a good look. Sidebar, I was going to say Tanil is somebody I'll say who appears ghetto is the previous word I would have used before, but try to be politically correct this time and age. I'd rather use the word rough around the edges. And I think that's what she needs to work on. And I think that's why people don't like her. Bye.
I can't with him. All right, let's take some more calls. Danielle's backstage. What's going on, Danielle?
Hey there.
Team Alexis.
Team Alexis. But
Why?
disclaimer. So I saw the show the day it dropped. I knew about the show because I also watch I Am Athlete, which Ocho is a panel member on. It comes on YouTube. It's a bunch of retired football players, and they always bring in like a guest host every week. And they sit around and talk. They kind of talk men talk, but they also bring females in. And then the sidebar to that show is called I Am Woman, which is the wives and girlfriends of the athletes who are on I Am Athlete. Shirelle was on that show and kind of told the ladies that this was coming. So I knew that this was coming. And before they even announced it, before Netflix announced it, Shirelle kind of announced that it was coming, and she had some things that she was working on.
Was she even allowed to do that? Technically, probably not.
Technically, probably not, to your point, but it's like, well, maybe, because as soon as she announced it, maybe a few weeks later, that's when Netflix dropped it. So maybe she was allowed to announce it. But I'm Team Alexis because when the show, so it took me like a day to watch the show. And of course, I go to everyone's Instagram page, and Alexis, based on Instagram, is working back at the agency. Now, she was posting pics of her selling houses, saying that if you're looking for a house, come meet me. I'm part of Team Allure. When did this drop on Netflix? Whenever this dropped on Netflix. Okay, so that's when I saw it.
Oh, well, no, yeah. She can't let you guys know that she's been fired. She has to continue that image up. And I'm sure she'll probably be back next season. She'll probably be back. Maybe they'll give her another shot. Mm-hmm. I don't think she was worthy of.
But I enjoyed her for entertainment purposes because she was the ditzy one. I thought it was funny. I felt
you enjoyed her telling the man the wrong taxes, her repeating after Tennille.
That, like everyone else has said in the comments, that house tour was cringy, and I felt so bad for her. But I also felt bad how Shirelle terminated her, which is the word I prefer to use. She didn't give her, because who uses the word fired? Put your hand down. And then I feel, HR side of me is going to come out. I feel like she should have been put on a product approval plan, a PIP. Like there should have been other things that went into play prior to her being terminated. And I felt like Shirelle is so busy trying to make money and have a baby. I'm going to keep that part out. She's so busy making money that I felt like she really wasn't focusing on the agency. And even when she was on the on the YouTube show with the other ladies, it didn't seem like this show was going to give so much, because of course, when she announced that, went straight to her Instagram page. Even there, she wasn't really promoting selling houses. So like a lot of people have said on the blogs and in social media since this show has come out, we didn't see a lot of real estate here. This is giving me Basketball Wives all over again. It was just cringeworthy, but I will watch it again. I can't wait to see what Brooklyn and Adrian have to say, because I'm sure they're backstage listening and waiting to come up too. So the show I was bored with Selling Sunset season 1 too, but I continued to watch. And as the other person who said Selling OC is coming, it is, because that was Selling Sunset's segue out. Their last episode, they went to the OC, and they are. So there will be a Selling OC, because when they left so I think one of the twin brothers, Oppenheimer, whatever that the Rich is called, is going to open up a location in the OC. But I'm here for Tampa because it's Black women. We're going to support. There's a lot of drama. I didn't know about all the drama until I became really close with my agent here in the DMV about all the stuff that they have going on with the brokerage and the percentage. So Sunday's episode with Adrian Brooklyn, that was a lot. That educated us all, and we all learned a lot. But I do want to see more properties. I do want to see the beautiful homes, and I want to see that they're actually being sold, because what I know from HGTV, that first time home buyer show, the house was already bought before they even filmed the episode. They just go borrow 3 more houses to show. So because we know that, I'm kind of, it's whatever. Because I'm at home working, I just need background noise, and that's why I turned it on. So that's how they get my view. I'm sorry.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks, Danielle. All right, Tiana, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Tiana?
Hey. So I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So I really, really liked the show because I watched Selling Sunset. And so I had high expectations and I was happy to see Black women in real estate. And y'all in the comments, please let me know if I'm just being like really, really sensitive. But I didn't appreciate how you have Selling Sunset, which was an established brokerage and it's established luxury brokerage at that. And now we're introducing this black owned brokerage, and it's like they weren't really in the game already. So it really made it seem as if like they're two different levels. And it was kind of like, hey, Netflix, you couldn't find already established luxury. I'm pretty sure in Atlanta, you can't tell me there's not Black owned luxury, brokerages in Atlanta, somewhere in Texas, Houston, Dallas, like somewhere. And so for me as a viewer, as a Black woman, I'm watching, I'm just like, dang. And it's like, and like I said, I don't know if I'm being super sensitive because I mean, I loved the fact that it was Black women. I loved the culture, but it was just kind of like they only sold the one house. And then you had the $9 million house with a $3 million offer, which don't make no sense. And then you got Alexis, huh?
She went up $1 million.
$1 million. And then you got Alexis talking about the tree of life. It's a tree. It's old. I don't know. It's some water. The sky is blue.
I might be Team Alexis by the end of this live.
And it's like, and I mean, and I'm not saying that Selling Sunset that there weren't newer real estate agents coming, like the one blonde girl who's married to the Tarek dude, and so she had her fumbles, and I think Shirelle. So I understand like coming into the game being new, where you're not gonna know everything, you're not gonna be quick on your feet. But it just seemed like Netflix should have did a better job of finding an established luxury brokerage to really highlight these Black women, because it seemed like Selling Sunset's more about the houses with a little bit of drama, but Selling Tampa was more about drama and just, okay, we're going to sell the house on the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, I've heard that. I heard that same critique from several people on social media.
And I mean, and I understand that, living in the United States, dealing with, white supremacy and oppression, I understand that we're finally kind of getting to the generation where we're creating generational wealth for ourselves. So I understand that it's new, but it's just the contrast was so different.
Yeah. Have you seen Ladies Who List Atlanta yet?
I have not. Is it good? I
think you should watch it. And I would love to hear your opinion in comparison to Selling Tampa.
Yeah, I just want to see. I love real estate. I love sitting here on YouTube watching the house videos, knowing dang. Look, I love to critique a kitchen, and I'm gonna have to rip up that floor, and I ain't got no more than $2 in my account. But I can't move up in that flow. I'll be looking at my husband, baby. I don't like it. So while that floor, the walls can't do it, right? So I love looking at real estate, and I just hope that next season, now that they're established, now that they're on social media and everyone knows about them, hopefully they have more opportunity to really sell luxury real estate and really like make a name for themselves.
Definitely. Tiana, I appreciate you calling in.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Before we take another caller, don't forget to like the video if you haven't liked it already. We already have almost 500 people in the live chat. We're live on multiple platforms. TikTok, what's going on? Appreciate you all being here. We're talking about Selling Tampa on Netflix. There have been a lot of people that have their criticism. You saw what Tatiana had to say. I want to hear your thoughts. Let's have a mature conversation in the live chat, but also in the recap comment section. All right, Amy, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Amy?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
Fine. I'm so happy that you listened to my request.
Yes, I did.
Thank you. So listen, when you gave the ratings and you said compared to Sunset, I had to bring down the number because basically I liked it. I gave it a 10, but you're saying compared to the other Sunset, which is in LA or whatever, I gave it a 7 because technically they aren't selling as many houses. Yeah. Now, the show itself, I do like the storyline. Mm-hmm. I will have to say that, like, the Shirelle character, one of the things, as much as people say they cannot stand Joanna, I don't think it's a thing that she likes Joanna. I think it's a thing she knows she's very insecure because I feel like working with Rena, there is a lawyer on the staff. And she could be a closing lawyer, and she also got her brokerage thing. So I think her pulling in Joanna it's creating this environment where people are competing now. But anyone with common, like people who have sense, which I love the discussion between Ann and Arena, they understand it from a business aspect. You can't be like fighting over pennies when you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because Shirelle did it herself, but she's not really like secure in her position. As much as she pretends that she got it going on and da. I do see some insecurities in her. Why? Yeah. Because she has a right-hand man that she really is not close to. She's just using her as the tool to get everyone scared.
Wow.
But that's what I got from it. And everyone kind of thinks she's doing a lot because they got the show, right? And I feel like I would love to see Rena have her own brokerage, her and Ann, because they are really selling properties. They weren't high end, but they do have the ingredients to be good brokers and agents. That's what I saw. Now, the storyline, I feel like I followed a little bit better because they aren't selling homes, but the luxury part, I feel it's true. The luxury part, I feel like you're gonna have to tune into like, $1 million listing, because the reality of it is this is the repercussion of segregation. We don't have our foot fully in the door just yet. So we got to kind of, as much as people are upset about it, oh, it's not giving me luxury, it's not good. You have to wait. That's going to come in time, especially now that we have shows like this. This is why you support it. I don't necessarily like everything Shirelle is doing, but them having their face on the TV selling houses can create a space where you can get more recognition for what you do and bring more business, which brings it where people see you as an agent. This is why I love Ladies at List. I actually think their show's a little bit better, and I told you why. I like the week by week because you can kind of like get a break and not take it all in. So hopefully they will do well. But the story was funny. I just said the Alexis girl, it was horrible to watch her not know how to sell a home. I feel like Shirelle, as much as they're blaming it on her, I blame Shirelle, because if she was there for 2 years, where was your training? Where was your, like, just sitting them down and saying, you better sell some homes is not going to work. You might got to do more. Not saying that they didn't try, but sending her with another agent that's new, you see why she was a resistant, because she's looking at it like, are you trying to take my space? Yeah. So I'm going to act like I know everything, even though I don't. So I kind of blame Shirelle for that.
It would have been interesting to see them link Alexis up with like a Colony or Ann and see how that would
have done that.
Since they're the top producers. I don't know why they're the top producers, because I really didn't see them sell a home like that.
I heard that they're selling homes for like $300,000 and $400,000. They're not really what the streets is saying, that they are propping themselves as luxury, but in hindsight, they're just regular realtors, brokerage, but they're trying to basically do it for the show. So they are selling homes, but there's not enough to like put it on TV. If they really showed the $400,000 homes, would we be watching? No.
I would.
No, we wouldn't feel like I told you, when I watched Ladies and List, I felt like I was with them. I was in their room and I was drinking their champagne. I felt like I was rich.
This is exactly why we need a Ladies Who List New York, because now the lap of luxury here in New York. I'm just saying.
I tell Kempire, if they call you, you tell them you can help list them, get them, cast them. You can do it.
I'm working on it.
But other than that,
go ahead.
No, other than that, I'm just happy for the show. Please support it, because it will grow into something else. We don't like all characters, but just keep supporting these real estate shows with the black cast members.
And it was an easy watch. It was an easy watch.
It was. I know it's not going to be 100%. We're not going to get $1 million listings because we don't have $1 million in this country. We just don't.
Don't listen to Amy. Some of those homes are very luxurious and beautiful to watch.
They were. I'm saying, like, in regards to like people wanting more, we're just not going to get that with the all black cast right away. It can come.
Well, look, things happen behind the scenes. There are reasons why people like Shirelle have been the ones that were chosen for them to highlight. So we don't know what those reasons were, but I think they did a good job. They did a good job.
Support the show.
All right, Amy.
I do think that they're
I'm trying, Amy. I got almost 500 people in the chat.
I do think they're going to basically bring Alexis back for, if all anything, to help her to basically sell the show even more. They should bring her back and let her try again. And if she fails, it's going to be more good TV. So that's it.
Right. All right.
Have a
Amy,
nice
thank you.
night.
You too. I love you guys. You are a mess. Monifa says Kempire attorneys are able to take a test and get a brokerage license pretty quickly. They don't have to go through years of selling in classes, etc., like non-lawyers. I know that is the case in Maryland. Yes, and I believe that's the same here in New York as well. I know if you're an attorney, there are certain allowances that they give you if you have your JD. So. Either way, look, we saw. Are you trying to defend Shirelle versus Rena? Is that what you're trying to do right now, Monifa? Either way, I feel like Rena is smart. I think she has, first of all, the experience. Yes, she's an attorney. Now she has her broker's license. I think she was. Look, I'm fighting for Rena. All right, Chit Chat. I'm gonna bring you up for a quick comment because I have a long line backstage. What's going on, Chit Chat? Chit Chat, you're muted. Chit Chat. All right, Chit Chat, I'm going to have to drop you down. All right. Miss Brooklyn, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Miss Brooklyn?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
Well, how are you?
I'm good. Just got finished with work just in time to get onto this.
Yeah, that's why I specifically put it later on in the evening because I knew people wanted to weigh in.
Now you see why I say I like Ladies Who List better than this show.
Yeah.
Because even with the situation with Colony, with her, I'm loyal. You're loyal because that's your check. You know, she's not going to get caught filming saying anything against Shirelle or that I would be interested in leaving Shirelle. Whereas with Ladies Who List, with them being independent of each other, they can honestly speak their mind and tell somebody go to the wind, you're not messing with my check.
Yeah.
So that was the functionality that I liked best of that they were independent, working with, they had independent jobs of each other. No one person's check depended on kissing ass to the other person.
Yeah.
As far as it goes, I mean, as far as it goes with Netflix picking them over anybody else, I don't know, TV production and what goes into all of that. But, we'd have to see with Selling Sunset, who was the motivator behind that show, like producing that show, the money putting behind the show? Was it the Oppenheimer twins? Did they put their own money behind that show to put it out there? And if that's the case, the partnerships with Netflix are very strange. Mm-hmm. So it could be that Netflix put it out there that we want to do, all-female Black luxury show. We think this would be good. Mm. How many all-female Black luxury brokerages are there really out there? Let's be honest with ourselves. How many high luxury on the Selling Sunset side, all Black female brokerages are there? I don't think there's that many. And then, hey, we all watch reality TV. How many of them do you really think want to go put themselves in that position where you could actually ruin your business and your company?
And who's reality TV gold? There's a lot of elements to think about as well. Okay, there's that element, and then there's the other side. Are they going to be great for a reality TV?
So there's a lot of things that have to be considered. If Shirelle started her own brokerage, and I'm pretty sure she's either got some money behind it, her divorce money behind it, GI money behind it, or Ocho Cinco's money behind it. I think this show has potential, but I think Shirelle needs to step back. Like if you look at Selling Sunset, you have the twins there, but they're not the drive and the focus. Like they're not in front of the camera all the time. Me. They kind of, okay, here's your listing. And they're really, the interaction is between the different ladies and what they're doing. And, one of the twins will throw a party and it'll be involved in there, but they really aren't front and center of the show.
Yeah.
Shirelle has made herself front and center of the show. I'm the boss. And it comes off a little bit harsh. So I think she needs to step back and, this is your company and you're the boss. We get that. We know that, but it's an ensemble cast. Let it be an ensemble cast. Let us follow everything else, everybody else around. Alexis, defend her if you want, but listen, if the girl went and got her real estate license, then she should know how to sell a damn house. Okay? That's just basic. You know you're doing a showing today, then you know you go over the cheat sheet. Like this is 101. Like this shouldn't take thought. This shouldn't take, oh, let me show you how to tie a shoe. It's like I'm not a broker, I'm not a sales agent, but I've had to show a couple of houses, apartments, whatever you want to call them in New York. I've had to show a couple of places in place of people. I have my cheat sheet. Here's my cheat sheet. Yes, you have, it's this many square feet. It's Italian marble. There's 3.5 bathrooms. It was last renovated at this point in time. It's, this kind of hardwood floors. It's this many square. Like you have the cheat sheet, and really that should be the broker sheet that's at every opening or at every showing. There's a broker sheet that is your cheat sheet. So I'm sorry, Alexis, get it together. Get your family life together. That might have been what was keeping her. She had a lot going on, and maybe that was fogging the brain.
You think?
And yeah, I think the family life was fogging the brain. As far as Shirelle bringing her back, I don't see any problem bringing her back, because with real estate, depending upon how each office operates, you get paid if you sell. So it doesn't cost me anything for you to sit in that seat. You don't sell, you don't get paid. It's not costing me any money. It costs me some electricity and whatever. And if I have to, insure, carry an extra person. So bringing her back, it really doesn't hurt her. And it's like, get yourself together and come back and we can try this all over again. So I'm, you would go back. You could go back. Kempire is casting ladies who list New York. So he gets the casting thing, he gets the executive producer, they already reaching out to you, but you gotta let them understand New York City is a little bit different. It's a lot different.
It's gonna be so much better than Atlanta. Watch.
It will be a lot different, and it's a lot more crazy. And just to divert for a minute on what Adrian was talking about on Sunday and what we were all talking about in New York City.
I'm gonna bring Adrian up.
Yeah, hey Adrian. And you probably know about this.
Ready. Oh.
You should know about this, Adrian. This is coming down. There's a big fight and I know we're probably boring people. There's a big fight going on in Soho, NoHo right now in New York City, because all those lofts were artist in residence lofts. And the New York City Council of Culture or whatever was supposed to always make sure that it was always artists in residence, because the story behind that is, artists, painters, sculptors, all of that. They need large lofts to do their work, but they didn't have them. They kind of took over these warehouses in Soho and NoHo that were sitting abandoned. And so they became something that was called artist in residence, where you had to be an artist in order to live there. And it was a live work kind of situation. You lived where you worked. Well, those apartments have all sold, and they go for multiple $1 million.
Absolutely.
Well, guess who caught the hell on? New York City, and they're going after them. That was part of the meeting that I had today. I had to sit in. There's a Soho NoHo Alliance. They're raising money to fight New York City from coming after them, because they're telling them either you have to either be an artist in residence, or you got to get up out of there, or you have to pay some kind of fine or fees or an ongoing fee. It's a money grab. It's a real money grab.
We need the cameras up here ASAP.
But these are the things, so New York City real estate is going to be a whole lot different than what you guys would see in selling Atlanta and selling Sunset and selling Miami, because we got some craziness that goes on here with eminent domain.
Oh God, yes. Oh Lord.
All types of things. You would see all types of, if they did a real show. I'm not talking that Ryan Hernest, whatever, I know you work with him, Adrian, and Frederick and all of them.
Yeah, no,
I'm not talking about those shows. I'm talking about, let's do some real New York City real estate shows.
And the real estate,
I know how they kick the people out of their homes to get Barclays Center built.
I'm about to say all that. Oh, you talking about all that gentrification? Yeah, Barclays, everything that happened downtown Brooklyn, Boerum Hill, they tried to cut all those people out and claim eminent domain, and they actually lost. A lot of people don't realize that Barclays and all that downtown Brooklyn, that whole project was supposed to be a lot larger than what it was. It's supposed to be a lot larger than what it ended up being, but they had to scale back, and they lost that. The developer tried to take those people to court and they took them all the way to New York. Ratner, yeah, he took it to the so for people don't understand who we're talking about. This is the developer. It's called Forest City Ratner. That is who Jay-Z partnered with to make
disclosure,
Barclays
my
what it
former
is.
boss is a partner in that, so I was a little bit involved in that stuff.
And
but
then
I wasn't kicking people out their homes.
Right. They got with that Asian company, the Pacific something, and then it was a joint venture. That's who actually, so Forest City Ratner didn't finish that whole thing by itself. They actually partnered with the Chinese company, but they lost that eminent domain suit. They were trying to get all these black people are familiar with Brooklyn. And this is a part of what I was saying before about gentrification. If you have anything that's going to be like a new attraction. So like I know in California, they were building the new, I don't know if it was the LA Raiders or LA Chargers or something like that. They were building like a new NFL stadium in Inglewood. Inglewood used to be a predominantly black area. I told people I know in California, be careful and pay attention to what they're trying to do. My theory, I promise you they're going to do the same thing with the South Side of Chicago. For as much as they keep talking about how horrible they're going to re-gentrify that. And I guarantee they're going to try to start pulling the same stuff. They're eminent domain. So I want to explain what eminent domain is. Eminent domain is a legal strategy. Basically what it says is that the state or the government has the right to come in and take over your property for the greater good. So that would be if they needed to build a highway, and there's a history of them doing that in black neighborhood. They'll put a highway right through like Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn. But don't let me get started. So they have to prove that the public, there's greater good for this property that's going to benefit the public. But they have to pay you fair market. They just can't take the house. They have to pay you for it, right? Yeah. But the state can say, no, they have to prove that. And in this case, they didn't prove that. So there's so much, to Ms. Brooklyn's point, there's so much going on besides just luxury. There's a lot that goes on into real estate. I didn't want to interrupt her. I didn't know y'all was ready for me yet. I wasn't even.
Well,
I'm trying to get my notes together.
I told him go look for you because you would have some more information on some of this stuff. Because me and her work from two different angles. That's another difference between in New York real estate. For people who are listening who may not quite understand it all, her and I, we work from two different angles, though our relationship is sort of shared. Mm-hmm. She's actually a sales agent. That's what she does. She sells the apartments and homes and all of that. I'm on the managerial side of it. So when you look at a building in New York City, like when you look at anybody who lives in Brooklyn, I hate this building with a passion. And if I ever see this man in the street, if I ever see Richard Meyer in the street, there will be a misunderstanding. I tell you now. That piece of monstrosity glass garbage that's sitting at One Grand Army Plaza.
I know exactly
from
right from the
library. If I ever see that man in the street, there will be a misunderstanding.
Is it one Prospect Place?
It's One Grand Army Plaza.
One Grand. I know it was one something. Yeah.
One gap. Mm-hmm. There's a history with me in that building. I'm still in court with them as their representative against the developer of that building because of what they did. They're suing him for $20 million. It's been $200 million. It's been 15 years. We're still in court over that. And I don't even work for that company anymore, but I'm still representing them on a side note because I spent so much time with that building. What I do is I am the representative. I am the manager of buildings like that. So I manage the entire building, all the apartments. I staff them, pick up, make sure that the cleaning and repairs are done, make sure that the local laws and the codes for the city are upkept. We have certain codes where there has to be certain inspections that are done every year, every 5 years, every 2 years, every. So I do construction management. So I come at it from the other angle. So we intermingle, but I don't do sales now. I'll get finder's fees because because I'm the manager of a building, somebody will come to me and say, hey, I'm about to sell this apartment. They usually want to give it to me first because they think automatically that I'm an agent and I can sell. Yeah. I'm not an agent. I don't sell. I kick it over to an agent. It can either be an agent in my company or an agent for another company. Because I'm not a licensed sales agent, I cannot legally collect a commission. what will happen is that the agent will usually give me what's called a finder's fee, which is somewhere between $500 and $600 just for giving them the business. I'm happy enough with that because I really don't want to go through what Adrienne goes through. See, I get to go to work looking like this. I don't have to get up and look like Colony every day.
Right.
So yeah, there's way too much. That's way too much upkeep for me. At 52, it's way too much upkeep for me to try and look like Colony. But I get to do this. But I also like to get my hands dirty and figure out how things work and how to fix it and stuff, because then I learn how to fix things in my own home. But that's why I mean, like, New York real estate would be so much different because there's so many different avenues to divulge into. Yeah. And New York, you do have a lot of minority Black women and other minority women who are doing this. You have them as construction managers, you have them as electricians, you have them as brokers, you have these women doing it. So you could kind of do a ladies who list kind of thing where you take them from different companies so they're not beholden to each other. Yeah. But put them together, it would be interesting. But yeah, you work on that, Kempire.
Wait,
and also Black construction. You know that that McKissick family, that Black family, they built Terminal B at LaGuardia. I think her father, I can't remember the woman's first name, but I know their last name is McKissick. Y'all look that up. That family's a real estate family. Her father started the company in like the 70s or something, and the daughter runs it now, but she won that contract. That was a huge contract. Wow. To build. So you fly into LaGuardia Terminal B, she built that. There's a Black woman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lady, Adrienne, I want to ask you specifically, there was the Rena versus Shirelle over the commission.
Oh, yeah.
Can we talk about commissions?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Let me go to my notes. Actually, that was the first thing I had. Okay.
Yes, come on.
I'm going to drop down because this is Adrienne's show. I'm going to drop down. See you guys later.
Ms. Brooklyn, we appreciate you calling in, though. Thank you so much. Look, we still have ladies who list every Sunday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern to recap.
You know I will be there 12:30 every Sunday.
I'll see you back on that, Brooklyn. I'll
see you later, Adrienne. Have a good night.
You too, babe. So, commission. Okay. So first of all, when I heard 95, I was like, that's insane. I've never heard that. The only reason she is able to do that is because she's a small brokerage. A larger brokerage would never be able to do that. Or they have way too much overhead. Way too much overhead to give that much of the commission split. Usually you come in at 50-50. Everybody starts 50-50 and your commission is tiered. Okay. So it encourages you to sell more. So the more you sell, so you started at 50-50 split, you hit a certain threshold, it jumps to 60-40, then it'll jump to 70. Most people, so for instance, like they brought up like the $1 million listing, like the super luxury, the top brokers, they may even then, I've never heard anybody do 95. That's insane. I mean, I've heard 75-25, I've heard 80-20. So I can understand and appreciate them feeling a way about her starting out, giving them so much and then scaling it back. Yeah. But New York, California, Florida, doesn't matter in terms of the state we're in. The industry standard is, even if you were the top broker, you're still maxing out at like an 80-20. So that's normal for me. Okay.
Why do you think Shirelle did that?
That's what I was gonna say. A lot of the times, so what people don't understand is, and I don't think people realize this, when you're dealing with a broker, whether you're buying or selling, you don't pay us a retainer. We don't collect a retainer fee. We're not like attorneys, right? We don't collect anything up front. We literally cannot get paid until you sell. So like I have a deal right now that's going on like 4 years. I haven't seen a dime from it. Like that happens. The father died, the children are fighting, it's caught in probate court. That happens, right? So, but that's just the ups and downs of real estate. So you'll have stuff like that. What goes into that? The broker fees is the marketing. Right now, when I started, social media even wasn't what it was now. Now you literally have so many people that will buy off of the internet, sight unseen. My husband is from Dallas and we're thinking about going back down there. And I know
we got a show to do.
I know, right? I know for a fact that that market was blowing up sight unseen. So internet marketing, social media, even YouTube. I mean, look at some of the YouTube channels with some of these, real estate agents and these top brokers, and see the type of marketing they do. That's another thing too, like the photography, the videography. When you see those outside shots, those are drones.
Yes.
All that aerial footage, that's all that the outside of the property and the skylight, those are drones. That's expensive. Like that stuff costs a lot of money. The videography, the way some of these brokers do it, and I actually was working on one like this with one of my developers. So something we got coming out in the spring with the videography. I mean, they look like high quality mini commercials.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just insane. But in New York City, the standard is 6%. So when you have a deal, you're getting 6% of, so let's say it's $1 million, you're getting 60,000. But you have to split that between the buyer's agent and the seller's agent. So you're not getting all 6, you're getting 3.
Damn.
Then you have to take that back into your brokerage and split it again. That's where your split comes, the 80-20, the whatever. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about the internal split.
Yeah.
The money's already been split once. Then you got to turn around and split it again. So, right? So before you start counting money and you're like doing the math and counting the, I'm gonna walk away with da. No, you got to split that again internally. And like I said, all of that upfront marketing or all of that is paid by us. And then after you close a deal, you bring the broker your check, they do all the splits, and then the brokerage takes care of, just kind of, pays itself back with whatever that split would be from your commission. In terms of the, before I get to Rena, so when they were talking about luxury, so I want to explain like the way that we think about luxury is kind of like, even that is tiered, right? So you start off with luxe, like a luxe would be 3 to 5 million range. Mid luxe would be 5 to 8, and then ultra luxe would be like 10 plus. Completely different clientele at each level, right? And in New York City, this is a global city. Tampa is not necessarily a global city. Miami is.
Yeah.
Miami is a global city, right? Tampa, maybe not so much. New York is a global city. LA is a global city. Like when you start, especially in New York, you get what we call new Londoners. So there'll be people who, and I saw this a lot in the 2010s. You would get a lot of people that was, especially a lot of Wall Street people would split their time between New York and London. They would keep apartments in both places. You would see. So when you're dealing with people at that level that have that type of money, it's a completely different skill set because they have the cash to be able to live wherever they want. Right. And then when you start dealing with people who can go from city to city and be bi-coastal or even international, they got a place in New York, a flat in London, a place in Paris. I mean, it's a different, it's just a totally different skill level that you're dealing with. But those are like kind of how we think about the luxe market, right? So like 3 to 5. So there's like the 1 to 3 in New York is very normal. You're going to see those all day, every day, because that's just what stuff costs here.
And you're not getting what you're getting in Tampa for $1 to $3 million.
No, you're absolutely not. But here's the difference. And this is what I want people to understand, because you mentioned this first. It's like, why do I want to stay in New York versus other places? This is why New York like I said, New York is a global city. For as much as people have been screaming and hollering about how expensive it is to live here, it ain't stopped nobody from coming. People still come, okay? People still want to be here and buying. People still want to be here. There was a huge thing that de Blasio did a couple years ago, our former mayor. Was it de Blasio or Bloomberg? It might have been Bloomberg. But they had a huge scandal about international buyers literally kind of cleaning their money with New York real estate. So you had a lot of people from especially communist especially like communist countries like China, Russia,
Mm-hmm.
those like oligarchs and super rich people over there, as soon as they make that money, they got to get it out of that country. They have to get it out. I'm gonna tell you where you saw a lot of that. Hudson Yards. Hudson Yards, there are apartments in Hudson Yards that they have never turned the lights on for.
I'm
They
like, damn, I gotta find that.
they just needed to buy it just to get the money out of whatever country they're in. They just needed to park that money somewhere. So we're thinking about investing in the stock market and crypto and NFTs or whatever the new hottest thing is. And I mean this from my New Yorkers, especially from my native New Yorkers. I'm not from here. I grew up outside of Cleveland. But from my native New Yorkers, you have to think about why someone finds this so attractive, right? New York will always move in a different way from the rest of the country. Always. Like I said, for as much as people complain about how it's expensive, it ain't stopped nobody from coming. But in terms of the Rena thing, I can definitely see how she would be a threat to Shirelle, because you have someone that is not only intelligent in terms of her law degree and her experience, like she's already had a career. This is a career change. You're talking to somebody who has not only been an attorney, she was a partner. So she's already had a career. She's already understands what it feels like to be in that corporate environment, right? And to have a certain level of professionalism. This is her second act, I guess you could call it, right? So in terms of what they were saying about the attorneys not needing a broker, that is true. So usually, I know for New York, I think it's because whatever they learn in law school, they already have to take a property law and contracts, right? They already take that in law, and I think that's already covered on the bar exam. So they don't have to turn around and take even more tests. I think for an agent, I think if they want to be a broker, they might, which is I think what ended up with Rena. So yeah, as an attorney, she probably didn't need the age. I'm not sure about how Florida works, but she probably didn't need the agent's license, but she did need to take the test to be a broker, which is what she did. The reason I think Shirelle is so upset, first of all, I didn't think it was a good thing for her to be saying that to those girls there. I feel like that was completely unprofessional. I did not like that. I feel like now that might have been just done for the show. Yeah. Right. But I feel like, okay, now you're asking for issues with this woman. Like you can't poach. That's called poaching. You can't do that. I mean, you can, but now you're going to have other issues, right?
Have you seen that happen here in New York? I'm sure you have.
100%.
It's like a dog world.
A couple of the top people from Douglas Elliman who left and created Compass. Yeah. That's who created Compass. And the black guy, Robert Refkin, just became a billionaire when they went public last year. He's like, Robert's not even 40 yet, I don't think. Black
up.
Dude.
Damn, I'm behind.
But he came from Goldman Sachs, but it was him and then some other Douglas Elliman agents that created Compass. And that's one of our biggest competitors now. So yeah, people leave all the time. They go to different brokerages, start their own thing. That's another thing too. You don't necessarily have to have your own shop. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of liability that a lot of people don't really want to deal with. So what you'll see more of is teams. So you'll see a team like, what's her name? Delgado, Shirelle. I think that's her last name. So let's say if she was at Douglas Elliman, it would be the Delgado team and all them girls under her. She would still be the broker and all. So she doesn't.
We've seen that on $1 Million Listing.
And that's exactly how they work. Yeah, that's exactly how they work. The guy that Ms. Brooklyn was talking about, his name is Frederick Eklund. I think Frederick is Swedish. Yes. Frederick's partner, John Gomez. John, when you look at him, you can kind of tell he's something. John is black. And you wouldn't know just by looking at him. You talk about money, that's a team. That's one of their team. Rafael De Niro that I talked about, he has a team, the De Niro team. So you'll see that where whoever's name it is, that's the broker. So XYZ team, right? That's the broker. So a lot of times people would do that instead of completely leaving and starting their own shop, which is great, but that's really expensive. That's really, really expensive. So a lot of times it just makes sense to hang your license under that larger company that will take care of all those expenses. And then you just have the team. Let's see. Oh, in terms of the agent, because you asked about aunties versus, yes, that's real, especially at that level of luxury, because, and I've experienced that when I first got into the business, and I still kind of look young. Sometimes people at that level will question your professionalism, and what number one, whether or not you actually know what you're doing, and number two, whether or not you have the network and the clientele to bring a buyer, right? If you're like, how many 20-something-year-olds are running around with millionaires? That's how they look at it. You know, how many people in that network are you really going to have access to? So that's kind of why they kind of, you know, sometimes they give the younger ones a little bit of a hard time. I could see the Ann girl and the Colony girl really blowing it out of the water. Alexis has no idea what's going on at all. And I don't understand that, because I think somebody said she had been there for 2 years. Yeah. And so to the other caller's point, it's like, okay, after 2 years, where's the training? But that's on Shirelle. Yeah. Did you train her? Or is this your homegirl that just got her license? You're like, okay, you can come work for me.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like if that's what happened, then just say that's what happened. But you can't throw her out there because she's an NFL player. And I think that's how, I mean, they said talk about pretty privilege, but she also leaned into that. Oh, my husband's an NFL player, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, was selling it like she had all this access. Again, she had the network, she had the clientele, she ran in those circles. Oh, I know multimillionaires, rub elbows of millionaires. You know, my husband's play, you know, she was probably doing all of that to really sell, you know, that she had the network that she had, and then she really didn't. And then, and that's the thing, is like starting, they immediately tried to get her to sell. That's a completely different skill set. Like working with a buyer, representing a buyer and everything that goes on and getting them their home is a completely different skill set from representing a seller. Yeah. If she didn't know what she was doing with a buyer, she should have never been trying to sell, because she has no idea what's going on. And usually, like I said, when you start in a 50-50 split, you start working with buyers and renters because you have to learn the market. Yeah. And it's something you can't watch a couple shows and get it. You can't just, you know, look on Zillow and get you're not going to know until you're in it. Right. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, she couldn't produce. I'm trying to look at my notes. Oh yeah. The thing about, that's what really blew me. That's why I know she had no idea what was going on. Hold on. Somebody got learning another language. Of course. Of course. What you talking about? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you can speak in Spanish, like in New York, or any of my West Indian people, if you speak Creole or Patois, there's a whole West Indian community in Brooklyn that really don't trust Americans. If you're a part of that community, you can go over there and rack up. Like, so absolutely 100%. But yeah, that's how I knew she didn't know what she was doing, because you should never, that's why I talked about the numbers being so off, and you have to know the market. Couple questions. The house was $9 million. Okay. Is she getting offers? If it's priced for $9 million, that's the asking price. Are you getting offers at 7.5, 8, 8.5? That's one thing. This girl tried to bring an offer for like 3 or 4 or something, just completely and utterly ridiculous. Yeah. Why in the world would you do that? You should not in any way, shape, or form be that far off. And that's a conversation she should have had with her own client to say, hey, if you can't come up any more than this, and this just isn't the house for you, we'll just find something else. But you don't waste anybody's time or put your professionalism on the line by bringing somebody an offer like that, unless the listing agent did a terrible job and overpriced it from the beginning. And that happens. Sometimes that happens because clients will get a number in their mind. You'll hear that, especially in you saw that a lot in Brooklyn, a place that were getting gentrified. People say, oh, my neighbor got $3 million. Your neighbor got a completely renovated house. You don't. So again, working with the buyer, she should have had that skill set to understand what her buyer needed, where they wanted to be, what they were looking for, the price range that they actually had, and where she could take them. Not, I'm gonna take them to this because Shirelle really wants us to bring somebody for this particular house. She should have been honest. Shirelle, I don't got nobody for this house. I don't, but I'm gonna close something, between 3 and 4 million over here. So yeah, I guess she thought that one little $1 million increase was gonna do something. That's just no. And then what Miss Brooklyn Diamond was talking about, in terms of the sheet with all of the details and specs on it, the show sheet. When you come into an open house, if you ever go look at property, you go to an open house, the agent will be there with all these flyers or like brochure. So it'll be like that really high quality, heavy brochure paper, glossy paper, right? And I'll have these beautiful, the beautiful pictures of the home and everything, the exterior, the interior, whatever. But that's where you'll get all your specs, right? So, and they do that so that you can take it with you. That's how we do that. We print them off. You'll have them laying there so you'll usually see it. Like when you go into the open house, they'll hand it to you, or they'll show you, hey, here's the show sheet right here. They want you to pick it up and walk with it, right? Yeah. That's what you can take with you. But the point of it, that's going to list your square foot of the house, the number of bedrooms or the bathrooms, the property taxes, right? Anything like that, HOA fees, if you're in like a subdivision, any of that pertinent information that you're going to want to know so that you can at least get the ball rolling about whether or not you want to make an offer on the house. And then a lot of other things you're just not going to find until the actual home inspection, like if there's been any damage or anything like that. But that show sheet should have those basic specs. And that's what I was saying, for Alexis to not even know that. I was like, why is this girl here?
Danielle, thank you so much for the super chat. Danielle asked the question, what about signing attorney versus LSA?
LSA.
I don't know
what that means.
Danielle, we don't know what that means. Adrian, I'm going to drop you down just because.
Yeah, okay, but no, I know you got a lot of people. I just wanted to go through that because I know people were kind of confused about the commission and like how that works and stuff and that whole thing. But again, I'm speaking for New York City. There are certain things that are just going to be industry standard, but there might be some things that are specific to Florida. But yeah. But anyway, no, you can.
Thank you so much.
Go on to somebody else.
And educate
us. Of course. And you're going to need to get your license too and stop playing with me.
For what reason?
So we can get this money. What are you talking about? We got to get to this bag.
Oh, you know it. Goodbye, Adrian.
Bye, boo.
Look, guys, you just joined us. We're talking about the new series Selling Sunset on Netflix. If you are Selling Sunset, no, Selling Tampa. Elephant brain. Look at that. See how quickly I got it, though? You see how quickly I caught that? Shout out to everyone sending gifts and tapping the screens or your TikTok. I apologize, guys. Look, I keep you guys here for the behind the scenes. But we are live on multiple platforms, including Kempire Daily on YouTube. Be sure to follow us there and subscribe there as well. We are also live on TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook, and we're live on Twitch and Twitter. Be sure to follow us on those platforms because you never know, there might be exclusive content that you might be missing out on. I do want to say thank you to Exactly for the super chat. Exactly says the brokerage, it's a scheme that Todd set up. I think Shirelle created the brokerage just to have a reality show with ultra single support and influence. That kind of crossed my mind too. Not the Todd part, but I kind of felt like that if you heard me earlier, I said, I kind of feel as if, this opportunity kind of fell in their lap as opposed to this is what they've been doing for years. And when Danielle called in earlier, she's like, I didn't really see her talking about real estate on her social media before. So who knows? Amy had a question. Another question for Adrian. How important are looks for real estate agents? Rate 1 to 10. I can answer that question. Very important. All the real estate agents that we see in real life are usually very good looking. Just saying. All right. Jordan is backstage. What's going on, Jordan? What's going on? Or unless you change your name.
Listen, Jordan is my actual name, but I'm going through a wild rose rebrand.
You know what? Goodbye.
Whitney is taking me through it right now. Hey, friend, how are you?
Well, how are you?
I am doing good. I think this brokerage is a scheme that Todd said, to be perfectly honest. Like, I think that they're right on it. Because no, like this really seems like this was something that she got. Like she started the brokerage because she got a show, and this whole season was like her casting the girls. It was very like season 1, we gonna put a group of girls together and see who I'm actually gonna put in the brokerage, and then the second season we gonna see what they actually can do. Because we didn't even get to see a lot of what Shirelle did. We just saw her close that house, but we didn't really see her do a lot. Like we didn't see her like moving and shaking and doing a whole bunch of stuff. We just saw her acting like, apparently, if we don't know anything else about Shirelle, we know that she can do with or without these agents, because she said that in every single episode that you can either be here or you can leave. But I guess that's because ain't nobody selling nothing, so it don't matter whether y'all there or not because it ain't costing me nothing. So I'm like, what? Why are any of y'all here? Like, it seems like the only reason she's the person that they chose was because she had a little bit of an attachment to a somewhat name. And that was somebody who that was gonna pull eyes. And yes, Chad definitely does have a type, but this didn't seem like a real estate show. Like, this show could have been about insert any type of profession and casting. Like, it seemed like this show could have been about plastic surgery. This show could have been about dentist office assistants. This show could have been about lawyers. This show could have been about landscapers. And the show could have worked the exact same. And I feel like for it to be a real estate show, there has to be something to pull you into the show and hold you there, and that has to be the real estate. Even the $10 million house that we saw, we didn't see a lot of that house either.
Yeah. I watch these shows because I want to see real estate. Yeah, the drama is nice to have in between, and it's
cute. But where are the houses?
Yeah, I want to see them.
Where are the clothes? Like where are the house? Like where are your houses? Where are they?
Yeah.
Very much that. And who gave Alexis a license?
Look, I know.
I'm genuinely asking.
No shade to other agents, but I know plenty.
No shade, but if she drives like she sells houses, then she need to give her driver's license up too. Because it is a hootenanny mess. It really seemed like but has the actual brokerage been open for 2 years? Because hasn't the brokerage been open for 2 years? So if she's been there for 2 years, she's been there since day one. Who trained her? Because they need to get fired too, along with Alexis.
Look, Shirelle.
But I did want to say specifically, the reason why I said that Raina and Colony are my girls, I love them for 2 very different reasons.
Okay.
Raina is like they're both very sneaky and snake-like, but they do it in very different ways. Like, Colony is very she's very in your face, very Tony Childs, very come get this money, like she's very in your face. And mind you, she's only going to be loyal to Anne until she stops producing. Watch what I tell you. She's only going to be loyal to Anne or Anne Sophia. I don't know if you have to say the entire thing like a pimp like that. Thank you. But she going to be loyal to her till she stop producing, and she's going to be sitting right over there with Lexus. But Rima is the one who she's doing all of these things in the background, and you really technically can't fault her for doing it, but it's almost the way she's doing it. It looks snakish. Like, Colony looks shady while Rima looks snaky, because it looks like she's gonna go do it in the background, and she's gonna go pop up with a new thing. Because Rima didn't have no reason to act surprised when she asked her about poaching them brokers when she know doggone well that she went and asked them girls to come over to a possible agency.
But I don't honestly look, it might be shiesty and it might be shady and it might be sneaky, but I don't see a problem with what Rena's doing. This is business.
That's exactly why I didn't understand why she was acting like, oh, well, it's just, I mentioned to them that I might open a brokerage. No, I asked them girls straight up, if I opened up a brokerage, is you riding or not? Like what's up? like it's business. So I didn't understand why it was such a big thing for her to make it seem like she was being quote unquote innocent about that.
And if Shirelle was smart, and this is the problem, and I've seen this in working in corporate America, I've seen it here on YouTube. People don't understand how to collaborate and to nurture those collaborations, as opposed to instead of just like, wanting to write her off because she wants to start her own thing. I just felt like that's unnecessary. Like,
it's
why not
really aggressive?
Responsibility, or maybe, okay, now you have your license and you want to do something. Why don't we partner up together? I just, she was intimidated.
It really doubled down on that I can do this with or without you type of energy. It was giving very that, and it was like she gives me very Shawnee O'Neal vibes, but like with a bigger mouth. If I were Shirelle personally, if that were me, Rena was the only one smart enough to go and get a brokerage license. I would hold on to her first, because she's the one that thought, okay, well, ain't nobody really doing nothing around here for real, and the only reason we looking like we doing something is because there's cameras. We sold one house in 9 episodes. Honestly, 8 episodes. Oh, what? See? Thank you, producer. I'm sorry.
But look, you heard what Adrian said. It could take 4 years for a sale sometimes.
I get that. That's true. That is very true. But how many offers did we see this season then? How many deals did we see start this season?
Look, if you follow me on Twitter, then when I watched
I do.
$1 Million Listing.
No, I do.
When I talk about $1 Million Listing and we talk about Steve Gold on $1 Million Listing, Steve Gold is just for reality TV. He ain't selling a home. I would never go to Steve Gold unless I wanted to, anyways, something else from Steve Gold. I'm not going to Steve Gold to sell my house because he has not sold. I mean, he's sold on the show, but he's shaky in comparison to the other people on that show.
I'm going to Steve Gold to sell a house like I'm going to Stevie J to get a hit.
You know what? I can't stand you. All right. Look, y'all know what time it is. This is going on 2 hours, but this is the ultimate Selling Tampa recap. Jordan, Georgia. Sorry. I know you are under a rebrand.
You can call me whatever you want because you're free and you're doing your thing, and I like your lifts, so you can call me whatever you want.
Would you want to see a season 2?
Absolutely. For a lot of different reasons. Okay. There's a lot of different reasons. I can do literally with or without Alexis, because it don't seem like I want to like it. Did she think that this was a job or an internship?
I don't know what she thought.
That is a real question. But also, Colony she gives me like, she's almost like a drama villain. Like, she gives me like Yelena Howard vibes. Like, she's so sneaky and so evil, but she's also loyal, but it's conditional. Like, I want to see more of what she's gonna give next season. I want to see what Rima gonna name her brokerage. I want to see how long it's gonna take for Shirelle to just be like, well, I'm gonna just walk away from the whole business and then pull a Black Ink Chicago and then just run off and go start a whole new business down in Miami, and now they just left with a business, and we're gonna see Colony pick up the whole thing and take over the Allure business in Tampa. I'm just manifesting.
Okay, well, Georgia, we appreciate you calling in. Have a great rest of your evening.
You too. Get some sleep, please.
I'm gonna try. I need to get some food first. All right. Bye.
See you on Twitter.
Bye. Guys, if you just joined us, we're talking about Selling Tampa. Well, before I give you my final thoughts, thank you all for being here. As I said to you before, this is the ultimate because you see how long it was. We recapped all 8 episodes of Selling Tampa, a new show, a spinoff from Selling Sunset, the successful Selling Sunset. I want to know, to the replay crew, what were your thoughts, favorite moments, standout moments, favorite agent? What are you looking forward to? Do you think it's a good enough for a second season? Let's continue that conversation in the comment section. Let me just say thank you. Miss Brooklyn, thank you so much for calling in and for the super chat. She says, sorry all for taking things so offline. I promise to behave in the future. It's okay. Look, people love the real estate conversation, and you guys provide such great knowledge. And I look forward to producing, not Selling New York. We're going to give this to the Black girl, to the Black woman. Wait, Ladies Who List New York. There we go. New York City. No, Ladies Who List New York City. There we go. Thank you so much. Waskawi Wabbit. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate you supporting the channel and becoming a member. Danielle, thank you for another super chat. She says, am I the only one who noticed that Shirelle and Evelyn both have butterfly tattoos? God, Chad's type. I can't. Exactly. Thank you so much for another super chat. The She by Shirelle of real estate. Y'all are so shady, but I love it. 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 Okay, here are my final thoughts. I'm definitely open to a Selling Tampa season 2. I want to see Rena. I want to see what she's going to do with her own brokerage. I want to see it. And I want to see these 2 brokerages compete. Because I don't know how long Laura's going to last if Shirelle is going to Tampa. Congratulations to Shirelle. She just had her baby with Ocho Cinco. But I want to see this play out. I want to see this play out. I thought it was a solid show. I know there were a lot of mixed feelings about it, but I thought it was a solid show. Don't forget, guys, every single Sunday now with this new show, Ladies Who List Atlanta. There we go. We recap at 12:30 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. There's only 1 episode so far. Only 1 episode so far. We said we're going to give it a shot. We love the first episode so far. And the executive producer has already asked us, who's hot in New York? So if you're a hot real estate agent, you might want to be around so we can audition you here live. We're going to have our own little reality show here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. TikTok, thank you guys so much for tapping your screens. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for being here. I apologize. Look, I am running everything behind the scenes. I'm producing, I'm hosting, and I'm trying to take callers at the same time. But I appreciate you all being here on multiple platforms watching our ultimate Selling Tampa recap. Again, thank you to our members, our team members, Team Kempire and Royal Corp members. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TeamKempire.com. Don't forget to join our texting community at TextKempire.com. That's where you can drop me tea. That's where we are able to communicate. That's where I drop tea. So join our texting community. And definitely thank you to our subscribers. Thank you to everyone that called in. And most importantly, thank you to our moderators for moderating this long conversation. I know it was long. We don't normally go this long, even though the other day we went almost 3 hours. We almost went 3 hours. I had to take a couple breaks. Y'all know I drink a lot of water from my coldest water bottle. Don't forget, guys, get your coldest water bottle today. Discount code KEMP10. KEMP10 for 10% off. Multiple colors, multiple sizes. Keeps your water cold for 36 plus hours, and it's high quality, and you can get them engraved. So get them personalized. Get 10% off with the discount code KEMP10. All right. Oh, we're 9 likes away from what? Hold on. Oh, come on, guys. We are almost at 400 likes. If you've been here for the last almost 2 hours, you probably liked what you watched. We have over 400 people watching. I appreciate you guys being here for our Selling Tampa conversation. And as always, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. And for our replay crew, let me know your thoughts on this season. And if you're watching Ladies Who List Atlanta on OWN. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm done for the day. I'm done for the day. Take all my stuff off. Yes, and we hit over 400 likes. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I'll see you guys later. Let's get out of here. A little music.